Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we're doing a retrospective review of Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go to College. They're out of the bowl and totally out of control.
Directed by the late special effects master John Carl Buechler, starring Evan MacKenzie, Kevin McCarthy, Eva LaRue, and John R. Johnston. This movie's about the Ghoulies. They are summoned by reading an ancient comic book. Maybe not an ancient comic book, a comic book that has the words of ancient texts that summons Ghoulies through a fraternity toilet and is controlled by the dean to take down the pranksters of the college. It's a retrospective review, so if you have not seen the movie, we will be talking about spoilers, so just be warned. What do we like?
I love the Ghoulies. I have a soft spot for puppets, and they do not let me down in this one. I absolutely love how they move, how they interact. They are strangely adorable, especially the green one.
You think he's the most adorable one?
You like the cat, I'm guessing.
The cat's pretty cool. The green one is slimy and weird.
Yeah, but he wore the best outfit.
You're right. When he put on the hat and the Fresh Prince attire, he was pretty cool looking.
You're full of dingleberries!
They would easily be mistaken. If they just were walking the halls at college, who would have known? Looking like Steve Buscemi, dude.
Howdy do, fellow kids.
And I did appreciate how they did do like full body shots of them moving, especially like the elf one. I guess the one that looks like Elf.
Are you saying Alf?
Alf.
Well, that makes you the prime suspect.
The elf one is a rat. So there's a cat, a rat, and a slimy green guy. The puppets and the puppeteering were fantastic. As cheesy as it was sometimes when you clearly have a man in a black suit driving a little golf cart with green gloves on, pretending like he's the puppet. Classic. I think that's what's great, is they had so much to do. They are the primary focus, thankfully, in a Ghoulies movie. They are running around, they are doing shit 100% of the time. They're getting into fun situations, like they get hammered once when they discover a big fridge of beer. They're just typical Ghoulies going to college, which you can expect. They go on panty raids and shit, which would look like the best panty raid of all time, to be honest.
Ooh, what a mouthful!
Why would they ever leave? Not the Ghoulies, like the frat boys.
There's just a bunch of topless girls beating you with pillows gently. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, please stop. Man, college in the States, it seems so crazy. And back then, too, in the early 90s and the late 80s. I wish I went to a frat. There's so much cool shit. These panty raids are top notch.
Keep going. We want to see naked chicks.
It's also weird to have the Ghoulies talk in this one.
Let 'em have it. Goodbye, cruel world.
There's moments that I like it because it did have like a strong comedic effect to it, but a lot of the times it was just really bad Three Stooges gag.
Looks like she has a couple of holes in her.
I'll say she does. What do you say we blow her up, dry 'em out?
They definitely tried with the comedy. I would say that nearly every second to third line is a joke of some sort.
Yeah, they have your stereotypical puns.
And you will guess them every single time. Like a guy walks into the wall. I'll keep my eye on you.
I'll keep an eye out on you.
They set up all these stupid situations just to make the jokes. Sometimes they work. I thoroughly enjoyed the nudity. There are lots of babes topless in this film. And Veronica, played by Hope Marie Carlton, is an absolute knockout. And she's a crazy sex maniac who wants to sleep with everyone, so she's constantly in lingerie, taking her bra off, and it's great.
Yeah, she does like a whole strip tease, and we get the shower scene, the crazy like under the cover sex scene. Wes is easily the luckiest guy.
You know what my favorite part about that whole scene is? The Ghoulies just show up, and her beautiful, beautiful butt is in the air, and they're just like, oh, I'm gonna need me some of that. And they got their grubby hands all out. It's great.
But like even before that, like when they're like on the couch at the party, like she's going hard on him.
She was actually like rubbing that guy's dick. Very cool.
I did also enjoy the practical effects in this film because we do get some kills, and when they happen, they are over the top, but they show it, and you have to appreciate that.
Yeah, you have like weird face stretching and tongue stretching. Cat's got your tongue, go figure. They made that joke.
Or the ever classic, do you want to suck face?
Most of our characters were likable as well. I enjoyed that we had just a variety of stereotypes. Some of them didn't play as big of a role as we'd like, but every type of character was there, including the very first appearance of Matthew Lillard in a film as Stork, who has one singular line at the end of the movie, which I don't even think is a line. I think he just says like a word. Oh, he's just like beta, zeta, theta or something.
He just has like a really cool bowl cut. Because like when you're pointing out all the stereotypes, you're like...
A really cool bowl cut, okay.
1991, it was cool then.
No, he's playing the dork. That's why.
No.
I'm sorry to say, if you had a bowl cut, you were a fucking nerd.
I put a part in my bowl.
I had an undercut. The cool guy upgrade because I saw Terminator 2 before everyone else. And I was like, yeah, I want to look like him.
Yes!
And blink and you'll miss it moment, Kane Hodder as a guy rolling in a mop bucket.
It's probably because Buechler and Kane knew each other from Friday 7. I also enjoyed the story with Skip versus Jeremy, their little prank war showdown. It's fun because you don't really know what's gonna happen. They're always causing pranks with each other and the ghoulies are getting in the way. And then you also have this weird relationship angle, which was fun as well. So it's just typical college movie hijinks with ghoulies involved. That's basically what it is. It's like if you look at any movie from back in the day, like Ski School and stuff like that, it's just like throw some ghoulies in there. We could have had ghoulies on the slopes. Holy shit. With that, we'll go to our dislikes. There's a lot of things that were weird in this movie. I thought the music sucked. It's like this movie is basically made for kids, but there's too many boobs for it to be for kids.
And the thing is, I watched this as a kid, and I loved it as a kid, and I don't know I don't know if it was for the boobs or the comedy.
No, you're like, I can relate to the nerd in the back with the bowl cut.
That's what's odd about watching it now. It definitely feels like a kid's movie. The kills that we get are slapstick. It's not graphic by any mean. It's very fake, and I like how it looks, but it definitely doesn't come off as like a, wow, I can't believe they like crossed this line type of kill.
I didn't like them at all. I hate this style of movie. I like the college aspect and all that stuff, but I really don't like the whole slapstick nature. And these ghoulies and the way that they were killing, I didn't like any of it. They're so obnoxious. Then you throw in this layer of Three Stooges and they're just bonking each other's heads and doing the classic head over head when they're spying on somebody. I hated it. And then you also have just like this really annoying slapstick sound bed, and you really have to be committed to this one to stick through. Not to mention that half the jokes were trash. Because they were making so many, you can't expect all of them to land, but so many of them were bad. But I really don't like that they set up certain situations just to make the jokes, because it's just like, yeah, we saw this coming, because there's only one reason why that character would do that thing, and it's for this shit joke.
Chucking bathroom tissue up a tree. Farming with the butt wipe bouquet.
I really didn't like Professor Ragnar's character. Like, I get what his character was supposed to be. He's the dean. He's like the bad guy who just wants like the frats out of there. He's tired of prank week. We've seen him in other movies, and he's kind of typecast. He just comes off as a guy who's always angry.
And he certainly was, for no reason, too. Like, I get it. They're playing pranks, or in this movie they called them yanks.
A yank is a yank is a yank. But gentlemen, this is war.
I don't know why they kept calling them yanks, and it was prank week. Kind of weird. But he was sick of it, and he immediately just flipped into this absolute monster who wanted to murder these children, which is fucked. And they're not children, you know. He wants to murder anyone, it's still evil.
Like when his secretary or like assistant died right in front of him, he was like, well, let's just throw her in the old sarcophagus and try and kill Skip.
Kill Skip Carter. Skip Carter. Kill Skip Carter.
Also, terrible classroom. Nothing is organized. There's way too much space behind there.
He had no control, despite having so much control. Teachers, they're always power tripping. Am I right?
Yeah.
I picture John does the same shit, honestly. He's actually just reading ancient comic books and plotting to kill all of his students.
I would have appreciated the drawing of, like, the horse.
You never know. If you stumble upon an ancient book, they do some crazy shit. I've seen it.
Klaatu, Marata.
Going back to the humor of this film, I couldn't stand the security guard. The campus security guard and all the gags that were with him ruined this movie because they made everything too over the top.
Like it was a Looney Tunes kind of situation where it's like, oh, here's an oversized bum. Ugh. And then he like breaks the fourth wall. And he was just a really big creep with the panties.
What brings you here?
In a word, your panties.
He talked about how he wore women's panties, and then he tried to confiscate panties.
But if you and the gals were to give me your panties, then I could take them home and keep them real safe, and I'd give them back to you on Monday or Tuesday.
He was just a weirdo. Now, I'm not kink shaming anyone who loves panties, but this guy just came out and said it to everyone. I think that's what's weird. Keep your kinks to yourself. Or on Twitter, or check out my OnlyFans. Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. I don't know where to begin, because this movie is fun because it's so wacky and over the top, but I don't like it for that exact same reason. And I couldn't get behind most of it. Although I did really enjoy some of the ghoulie moments, and the abundance of breasts, and the characters, but at the same time, there's a lot of characters I didn't care for. There's a lot of jokes that just completely fell flat. The location change of Ghoulies going to college is definitely the big appeal to this one, because there's all that classic college stuff that you might find enjoyable. I just didn't like this movie in general, but it was okay. So I'm gonna give this 2 eating pizzas the only way I know how to out of 5.
Revisiting Ghoulies 3, I can honestly say it doesn't hold up.
Yes!
It's very disappointing because deep down inside, I really do love the Ghoulies franchise. And I think it mainly has to do with the fact that these adorable little puppets are running around and killing people. But this film felt way too much like a kid's movie. And I really do like what the Ghoulies brought to this film. It's a weird mix for this franchise. And I know it gets even weirder in the 4th one. But our characters were great. I loved the
5 minutes later.
Young me appreciates this, and I feel any kid under the age of 13 is gonna think this is like a 10 out of 5 movie because it's just got boobs and kid jokes. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 2.5 caught in deer's headlights out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, links are in the description. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel and stay up to date with everything Bloodbath and beyond.